Hello my friends, and welcome to Palia. You might know that I've been obsessed with this game lately, and I've been exploring everything and everywhere in Palia, and I found pretty much every resource available, except one. Palium ore, and that resource is, in my opinion, probably the rarest resource in the entire game. And until today, I had no idea where to find him, until I stumbled upon a Palium ore node today accidentally while farming my iron, and I've ran a bunch of experiments on the location where I found it, and I've found a lot of useful data that I'm gonna share today in this video, and you will learn how to get a lot of Palium ore very quickly. What is the best location to farm Palium ore? How does Palium ore spawn? What are the respawn rates? How much of it can you get? Okay, so the first question you might have is, how do I get Palium ore? Palium ore can drop from the Palium ore nodes that look something like this. Basically the same as iron node, but instead of gray chips inside, it has purplish chips inside. And the only location on the entire map that I found these nodes to be spawning, and I can't guarantee this 100%, there might be other locations, but this is the one that I found consistently spawning Palium ore nodes, and I'm gonna show you later how to farm them very quickly and very efficiently. Right under the Proudhorn Pass, right in this little circle on the map. All around the circle, there is 4 nodes in total that have a chance to become Palium nodes. But before we get there, let's first discuss how do you get to this area. Alright, the easiest way would be to use fast travel. You can just select one of the points on the other side of the Great Wall, as they say. You can see there's a giant wall separating 2 halves of Bahari Bay. And you can fast travel to the top and pay some coins for it, or the easiest way is to do this. Go to the Pavel mines. Once you get there, you can just go inside the mines and then basically follow my route that you see right now in the video. You should be able to go through the gates, and that's going to be your best way to enter the upper part of the map. There is 2 more gates, pretty much. You can choose any gate you want. You can see all 3 of them on the map. I'm only using this one, but you can use any one you want. I haven't tested if the other ones work, but if you look at the map, it looks like there is a pass through in these 2 other places too. Alright, so once you make it to this area, basically just put a marker on your map on this little circle, and then when you get there, there is 4 places in this area, 4 particular exact nodes that has a chance to become Palium nodes. So let me tell you exactly how this works. Each of these 4 nodes has a chance to become either a regular stone node or a Palium node. And I'm not entirely sure what are the chances, but I've noticed after restarting the game multiple times, the same node can be any size, and each node on the map has 2 states. One is the regular stone, and the other one is whatever this node, depending on the location. It can be a bronze node if you're in Kalima. It can be an iron if you're Bahari Bay, and it can be Palium if you are in this specific location. And there is 4 specific nodes that can have a chance to become a Palium node. I would say the chance maybe is about 30% from my testing. So 2 out of 3 times it will spawn like a regular stone, at least just from watching it for a couple of hours. and 1 of 3 times it will spawn as a Palium node. Now, most of the time you're gonna have maybe 1 Palium node in here out of these 4. Sometimes you will have 2. The best I've ever got was 3 Palium nodes at the time. I never had all 4, but every time it's different nodes usually that become Palium nodes. Sometimes you will see no nodes in here as well, because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people who are aware already about this location and these nodes and are farming them pretty much probably exactly the same way I do, so you're not gonna see them very often. Sometimes it makes sense to just camp out here until they respawn. I haven't measured the respawn time, but if I were to guess, it's at least half an hour, probably even more. That's how much I spent here, and they still didn't respawn, so I'll probably make a video in the future when I measure exactly how long does it take to respawn every kind of resource in the game, but this is not that video. Instead of waiting for these nodes to respawn, I would do the following. Also, make sure you have a fine pickaxe. If you don't have a fine pickaxe, you will not be able to mine these nodes. Once you found the location, I would take the spot on the top. You can literally see every single node from this spot. And if you mine all of the Palium nodes that you see, go back to the spot and just close the game. Just exit from your game. And then open it up again. So what happens when you do that is the game loads you up on a random server, whatever server has the least amount of people on, I guess, or I don't know what the criteria is, but every time you're going to be assigned a random server. And the best part about it is that there is a chance that on that other server, these nodes have not been harvested yet. And then you'll be able to spawn right on top of them and see if they harvested or not. And like most of the times when I restart the game, I will have all the nodes ready to be harvested. Now, I don't know how many servers is active right now, but I would notice that this is the fastest way to refresh the nodes instead of waiting. This can work. This little trick can work for any rare resources you wanted. You can do this for clay. You can do this for rare spices, for iron. If you found a really good iron spot that has a bunch of nodes around, just restart the game. After you harvest them, you have a chance that the nodes will be respawned right away. Also keep in mind that every iron node in like next time it can be just a regular stone, so it's not good. Like if you found 10 iron nodes near each other, there is a high chance that if you restart the game, those iron nodes are just going to be regular stone nodes. But anyway, so this is what I did. I did it for about 1.5 hours. I've been just harvesting all the Palium nodes I see. If I don't see any, I restart. I come back. Sometimes there is no nodes at all, which means that people already harvested them on this server recently, so they haven't respawned yet. Sometimes I would get 1, sometimes I would get 2, sometimes I would get 3. It's a very rare resource, and 1.5 hours I managed to farm 50 of Palium ore. And make sure to pay close attention, because sometimes Palium nodes are going to be very, very tiny and you won't be able to see them from afar. So make sure to come close if you're not sure if it's a Palium node or not. They can be tiny and it's going to drop you 1 Palium ore, but honestly 1 Palium ore is better than no Palium ore. And do this for as long as you can. I'm assuming that as soon as the game goes open beta, there's going to be way more people doing this, and you might want to take advantage of this. Maybe this will get patched as well. I'm not sure if it's a bug or not. Technically, we're not exploiting anything. This is just how the servers work. You get assigned a random server every time you log into the game, so we're just taking advantage of that. I farmed 50 Palium ore. Then I went and I bought a recipe from the blacksmith. I bought a recipe for the Palium ingot. So you're gonna need a lot of money, and you are gonna need level 9 in your respective profession if you want to be able to craft the maximum level tool for your profession. You can craft exquisite axe, you can craft exquisite pickaxe, exquisite watering can, hoe, and belt. Did I miss anything? Axe, bow. Yeah, all of this stuff you're gonna need 2 Palium ingots to craft either of them. So I got myself 10 Palium ingots pretty much. It's gonna be enough to craft 5 exquisite tools. I'm not even close yet to level 9 in most of my professions, except foraging. Foraging, I'm very close to level 9. So I've sold pretty much almost everything I had in my chests because I need a lot of money. As you can see, I'm pretty rich right now. So I spent all this money to buy infused plank recipe, which is goddamn expensive. And then I bought an exquisite axe recipe after I chopped a billion trees, and my god, it takes a while to get level 9 foraging. But in my opinion, foraging is the easiest skill to level up because you literally get XP from chopping trees, from picking up any flowers, any mushrooms, any spices, anything that is gatherable. Everything gives you foraging XP, so it's extremely easy to max out your foraging skill. Mining is going to be way more difficult, especially if you have to compete for the nodes with other people. Anyway, after a nice foraging run, I hit level 9. I basically spent 5,000 coins buying the infused plank recipe, an exquisite axe recipe. I go convert some of my infused planks. In case you don't know how to get infused wood, you need to chop down those glowing purple trees. You can do this by yourself if you have a fine axe and it's a small tree. Or you can bring a couple friends and chop the same tree together in order to be able to chop down glowing trees. You only need 5 pieces of wood, so it's not that difficult to get, even by yourself. And that's it. All of my resources are now I'm able to craft the best axe in the game. Exquisite axe. And my god, this axe looks actually exquisite. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is my first actual video on Palia. I just, when I found my first Palium node, I was like, this is it. This has to be a video. And I'm definitely planning to make more videos on Palia, more tutorials, more tips and tricks. If you found it helpful and if you want to see more content in the future, please subscribe to this channel and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.